Welcome to episode 195 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton, as always, joined by Dan Reamer.
Thanks for having me.
And Matt Belden.
Doesn't matter, you got nothing? Did I take your line? Who the fuck is this guy?
Yet. I have to think of something.
I like that you didn't try to force something.
Yep.
You didn't have it ready. It's okay.
No, it's cool. It took me 4 years to come up with the thing to say at the beginning and the end, and you guys have taken both of them, so now I got to come up with something else.
Well, Dan's made it his own.
Yes.
But
it was my own.
It's totally different.
It is, but I changed it.
Right.
It's all in the intonation.
Yeah,
So I think I'm going to start saying is, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
That's really long for... I still got to get to Matt after you say that.
I understand, but Matt has nothing to say, so I make up for him.
I tried. It's good to be here for a couple of weeks. It doesn't really... It's harder to do. It's harder to be sincere.
It's good to be here sounds real, arrogant to me.
Yeah, I tried it for I think, maybe 10 episodes or so ago. For a couple of weeks, it was...
I think it depends on...
In the morning, I would say it's good to be here with you today.
I think it depends on how you say it. I mean, you can make it come off sounding like appreciative of people wanting you to come on and listen to you speak.
I'll tell you what I hear when you say it.
It didn't suit me. You should try it.
Here's what I hear when you say it. You're welcome.
Oh.
That's what I hear every time you say it.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's how I mean it.
Okay. Well, that's right then.
It didn't suit me, so I went to Thanks for Having Me, which I thought worked really well.
I think that's Dan's thing, though.
So.
I agree, it does.
Yeah, I think he came up with that, actually.
No, that's cool. I'll just come up with a bunch of stuff that you guys can use.
Oh, yeah, that sounds all right.
Hey, let's work on my part. I love it.
We got a think tank now, Dan.
I know, I love it.
Always wanted a think tank.
Do you have a name for your think tank? Matt, what are you going to call yourself? Bowden Enterprises?
Well,
I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it.
I'm an idea guy.
I mean, this is the first time that it's really come up that it could be anything, so I haven't really...
Is your tank empty?
I haven't really had a chance. Give me a week or two.
Maybe not so much of a think tank anymore.
Yeah.
Got a lot of other irons in the fire.
Wow.
Maybe not quite as much thinking in that tank as we thought.
This guy's his plate's full.
With what exactly? Coming up with ideas for us?
Yeah, I think so. I need somebody to come over and think tank this Ori and the Blind Forest before I snap a fucking controller in half.
Dude, just hit up YubTub.
Nah, I don't want to do that. I want it to be old school style.
Oh, wow,
so you want somebody to tell you how to do it, but you're too good to hop on YubTub.
No, I want to have conversations organically.
Well, you know what you could do is you could look for the number on the back and call.
I don't think they do that anymore.
The hint line.
Yeah, I think they do.
It's just a lot of backtracking because I don't know which way to go and I go the wrong way and it's pissing me off.
Okay.
Because I might only have 30 minutes to play and I can't spend the whole goddamn time walking back and forth.
Maybe you shouldn't play that game.
Good game though. I want to finish it. If I ever put it down, I'll probably quit and never go back to it.
All right.
So I want to complete. I want to finish. And I'm afraid to stop.
So I'm guessing you played it this week?
Yeah, I played some Ori, played some Rocket League. And I'm ready to get back into No Man's Sky. I've been waiting for this patch. It seems like it's never going to happen.
Uh-huh. I have too.
So I think I may just get back into it.
What's supposed to be on this patch?
It's supposed to be the one that adds the freighters and the
base building and
the base building and all that stuff.
But I don't know what's going to happen now that they're getting sued or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if they're actually getting sued. People are going to try to sue.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to work out because it sets a negative precedent for how to handle things in the industry. It won't go very far.
Sony really distanced themselves from Hello Games.
Yeah,
in kind of a shitty way.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they could have their back a little more. And I don't know. Here's the thing about that. I don't know that Hello Games, falsely advertised so much as maybe Sean Murray did.
Yeah, I don't know that anybody falsely advertised.
But Sean Murray is Hello Games.
He's a part of Hello Games.
Yeah, I think he started though.
He's still only one member.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying
themselves, as far as their marketing materials, I don't know that, like what they sent out in Just speaking about things you're hoping for at a convention or whatever, does that really count as false advertising?
I mean,
nope.
If speaking about something you hope to do and it doesn't happen, then we would all be in
right. That's what I'm saying.
big financial problems.
Right. I mean, we'd all be getting sued.
To put it this way, if we can sue Hello Games over No Man's Sky not being what they advertised, we can sue Konami over Metal Gear Solid 5 not being what they advertised. There's a whole disc in the collector's edition about how it's not the thing that they advertised. So if we can sue one company, we can sue them all. And if that, it will set a negative precedent for the industry. That it is okay to sue just because you don't like what the game is, and you will do away with beta access and alpha access and pre-gold access. You'll do away with all that shit. You'll do away with most advertisements that aren't controlled in an E3 or TGS environment. It will cripple the industry to allow that lawsuit to happen, and so it won't.
I mean, look at Rockstar Games. Can you imagine if someone tried to do this when GTA Online didn't come out when it was advertised to come out?
Exactly. What game have you guys ever bought that when you put the game in on release day, it was exactly what was advertised? It was 100% everything that they showed you was in the game.
Only Nintendo stuff.
And never that I can recall ever.
Yeah,
never.
It's only Nintendo stuff.
I don't remember a game ever that had exactly what I was shown at E3, TGS, the VGA announcement for it, all the way up until the day that it came out, and I went and grabbed it at GameStop and I popped it in, and I went, okay, it's a fine game, but where's this thing that, how come the HUD layout's different? I'm gonna sue. Fuck you.
I just think it was not cool to see Shuhei. Shuhei's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
they should have had their back?
Yeah, and not only to not have their back, but to be like, I think they messed up. They messed up not having a PR person. They messed up with Sean Murray trying to do everything.
But I think he's right.
But it's like now they want to separate, but they sure did put him on stage every fucking chance they got.
Yeah, and if it would have been exactly what the game, what it was that they talked about, Shuhei'd be there shaking his hand with his arm around his shoulders.
Right. They've also been really clear to say, hey, we didn't publish the digital version and we didn't publish the PC version. We only published the physical PS4 version. Yeah. Like they go out of their way to say that.
Which is factual information, but do you not think that there was a time behind closed doors where they approached Sean Murray and said, hey, how about you let us do the marketing for you? And maybe he said, nah, we're going to handle this on our own. I mean, do you think maybe that conversation happened?
I think they're the reason he was all those places. Like, they're the reason he ends up on TV and says fucking shitty things. Like, I don't believe that Sean Murray was saying, hey, I got to have this game finished, but I think I'll go book some shows for myself.
Right, but do you think that he said, if anybody's going to represent my company on stage, it's going to be me?
Probably.
And that's why Sony's saying now, like, hey, he should have had a legit PR person. He should have had something prepared.
They sure didn't stop booking shows for him.
And at the time, that should have been clear at the time. You don't, and that's how loyalty works. You don't wait till things go to shit and then cut and run.
Right, but maybe the agreement was Sony offered to have him a PR person. He said, no, I'll do it myself. And they said, okay, well, we're going to send you on the PR loop as yourself, but it's up to you to represent your own company. And now they're saying, hey, they didn't have a legit PR person.
So why didn't they say that back then when they were sending him everywhere? Hey, Sean Murray's going to do his own thing.
Why would you say that?
Because you say it now, it's real reactive. It's real shitty to be like, well, now that you guys are upset, we're not a part of it.
This wouldn't even be a conversation if they had just said that from the front.
And you don't think it would be weird that when they announced this game 3 or 4 years ago, they'd come out, like Sony had come out in an official statement and said, hey, Hello Games has been offered to have a professional PR representative and they have declined, and Sean Murray will be representing their company at all the shows? That would be stupid too.
I think that's weird, but I think this is shitty.
Right.
I think that this is a situation where there's so much of a negative connotation to the entirety of it that either one of those choices is going to appear bad.
Well, how about they just fucking say nothing about it?
Yeah, I would also go as far to say that Sony was probably more involved with decisions than Sony or Sean Murray are letting on.
Right.
Sure, but I don't see this as Sony throwing Hello Games under the bus. I see this as Sony saying,
No,
hey, we gave them everything that we could, and then the rest of it was in their court, so don't look at us to fix it.
It's one thing to throw somebody under the bus. I don't think they did that. It's another thing to have somebody's back in the good times and the bad. Somebody that you have invested in some measure. And then when things go bad, to be like, fuck out of here. Kick you out of the house because you didn't get a B-.
I think Sony's making a smart move. They're saying, people are coming out and saying, "Hey, is this Hello Games' fault or is this Sony's fault? Did Sony mess this up? Did Sony mess this game release up?" And Sony came out and said, "Hey, we just want to be really clear that all we did was publish the game for PlayStation." I think that's fine. I don't think that means that they can't back him, but I think that they need to. That's a good place to start when it comes to fixing whatever they want to with No Man's Sky if they're going to.
I'm just interested to see if this game was everything people thought it would be, if they would have come out and said, "Hey, we weren't very involved."
Right.
Because something tells me they wouldn't have.
That's why I said they'd have been right up there on stage, arms around him, open arms. This is our guy. We had his back the whole time.
I never got the impression that Sony was very involved, other than to make sure that Hello Games was presenting. It was very clear for the entire cycle that Hello Games was a small team. It was Sean Murray and a very small team. It was made clear every time he was on stage. Hey, this game's going to come out when it can because we're a small team and we don't want to set any deadlines for ourselves that we can't meet. I never got the feeling that Sony was doing anything more than showing that game off, giving them a platform to show their game. So, I mean,
I guess
if
Sony
had come out and said, "Hey, we put our best developers in their team, and we gave them access to all these additional studios so that they could lay stuff off and have their game come out faster, and all the menial tasks could be done by this studio, and that they were just going to concentrate on the meat and potatoes of the game," sure, then it's on Sony's back. But Sony never did that. Sony just came out and said, "Hey, we're going to publish this game first on PlayStation. Here they are at all of our shows."
I guess, but don't they have to hold some complicity by pushing him up in the spotlight so much?
It's still cut and run for me. And I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't think that the game was a failure.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say everybody here agrees with that.
Yeah. So to me, there's nothing that they need to separate themselves from. They need, if they wanted to come out and say, "Hey, we just want to be very clear that it wasn't up to us on how this game got marketed. We just provided the platform." I think that's fine, but I don't think that this game is in any way not good. So.
Okay, and maybe that's why we have such a problem with it, because the rest of the world perceives the game as something different than we do.
Right. And, I mean, I got into an argument with a guy on Reddit this week that...
Well, that was a waste of your fucking time.
Talking about this lawsuit. He was on about how all the stuff on the Steam page doesn't represent the game that came out when it came out gold. But everything on the Steam page, with the exception of, one video and 2 screenshots at the end, came out when the game was in beta, because on Steam you just update your game as you're developing. You put updates for it, right? So why would that be representative of the final game? And the stuff that is representative of the final game, that's dated after the game was announced gold, looks exactly like the game does. The description on Steam is exactly what the game is. People are just up in arms that they got their hopes up based on pre-gold information, on beta and alpha information. They got their hopes up on trailers, just Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, you name a game that doesn't have a trailer that comes out that looks incredible, and then when Ubisoft's new game, Tom Clancy, what's the Wildlands game? Rainbow Six Wildlands. You tell me a game that didn't show a trailer that doesn't look anything like the final release. And No Man's Sky is no different. People are just they're I don't know. People are just outraged about it, and I can't figure out why. They had these high hopes for this game, like they do everything else, but for whatever reason, people are taking it out on this one. I don't know. I don't have an explanation for it, but it's very stupid.
Yeah.
Let's just end it with that No Man's Sky is an okay game.
Yeah, it is. I mean, It's a game I enjoy.
I'm gonna go back.
I think it's worth. Yeah, it's worth playing.
I'm 100% gonna go back. I only paused because I wanted this update to hit first, but
now that we're waiting on it,
yeah, I mean,
I'll go back to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah.
The VR is a thing that's happening. The Mafia. The Mafia 3.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
The Rise of the Tomb Raider. I'm losing my mind about that game too. I want to play it again all of a sudden. Seeing all these ads for it.
I loved the first Tomb Raider, so I kind of think I'm going to grab that.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to pick it up.
If you pre-order it now, I think you get the definitive edition of the first for free.
Which I already have,
Yep.
so...
Yeah, I've got it on PC. I don't have it on PS4, though.
Yeah.
I do.
But
Because that game was real good.
the second one, real good.
Better than the first one?
I think so.
Okay.
I have no problem saying that.
I'll take your word for that.
And I played the first one real close to the second one. I didn't play it back when it came out, so
Right.
you may remember it more fondly than I do, but those memories together, like laced together for me, and the second one, a much better game.
I still remember when you played Tomb Raider the first time and you couldn't get past the part where the rock falls on you.
I don't know if I couldn't get past or if I died several times there. Yeah, those are different statements.
That's true. It
I
took
did
you a
die
long. It
several
took you a
times there.
long time to get past that rock.
I wasn't sure what the fuck was happening. My TV's across the room, and I think I couldn't see the small button prompt.
Okay.
Get it. You need to get a higher resolution TV.
Well,
He's getting a 4K.
Fondly.
HDR.
Oh, you're getting an HDR TV?
Yeah,
Better
I
buy,
thought,
I
I
think.
thought you were getting a 4K TV.
I'm getting both.
4K and HDR.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I really
Made by
want.
who?
I don't know.
They're getting down to some really affordable prices.
I want an OLED though, and they're not affordable.
Oh my god.
Mm.
OLED doesn't do anything for you.
Except for look fucking great.
It does look great.
It looks so good. I wish that
OLED looks better with a glare on the screen, though. Have you ever noticed that?
I don't know. I just wish they would stop putting them side by side because I'm like, God damn, that one looks good. Like, if they just put OLED somewhere else, I wouldn't care because I would be like, yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah.
But when they put it next to the 4K, I'm like, God. Or not the 4K, just the LED one.
Mm-hmm.
It looks so good. But I'm not going to spend that much money. Can't do
I
it.
don't blame you. What size are you getting?
55, 60.
Jesus Christ, big money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't make it not to spend it.
Right.
That's right.
Also, update on
Drug pigeon business must be doing
it
real
is the carrier drug pigeon business.
Did you hear about that actually happening?
No.
There's a prison, and forgive me, I don't know the city off the top of my head, but people were sending carrier pigeons and doves in with cocaine and marijuana strapped around their necks.
My business is
Just
called
into the yard.
Lines and Wings. Is the name of mine.
Lines and wings.
Yeah. And that way it looks legit. I put it in the phone book and everything. Yellow pages. Taco Bell's doing the VR giveaway.
Yep.
My father won a VR headset. And
You pretty pumped?
yeah, because he doesn't have a PS4 or any need for this. So that means I want a
So
VR
I'm
headset.
guessing he just saved you $500.
Yeah, I want a VR headset.
Son of a bitch.
And
Yeah.
it's good because the money was going to be tight by everything this holiday season.
I would be more pissed if I wanted a VR headset on day one. I'm more pissed that you got it for free than I am that you are getting one.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You suck.
It should be here soon. It's apparently, like the email he received said it would start shipping 2 days before it's released, or they start arriving 2 days before it's actually released.
So you should be getting it around the 10th or 11th.
If everything works out right, it'll go to his house. I just got to go pick it up.
Yeah. So that's around the weekend, right?
Yeah,
That'll
but
be an immediate drive you make, I'm sure.
I'll only be able to
Oh,
play
yeah.
the demo disc.
Yeah, because nothing else is out.
Right. I'll play the fuck out of the demo disc though, if it does actually come in early. I don't really care when it comes in, as long
it's
as
free.
It's free, right?
Understand.
So I'm excited about that. I never win anything, and he doesn't either. So we kind of both won at the same time.
This is decidedly better than the Uncharted thing that I won.
It's a way better.
Yeah, no shit.
So he goes to Taco Bell.
Like hardly ever, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, I had a death in my family, And after the funeral, he stayed really late. After the funeral, he's driving home. It's probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. He goes through Taco Bell for like the first time in 2 years because there's not much open at this point. Goes home, eats, watching TV, sees the ad for the Taco Bell VR, and he's like, hey, I think I had that. Looks down, is like, oh yeah, there's a code on my box. Does like 3 or 4 other things, comes, sits back down, is like, yeah, let me enter this real quick. Enters it, and it's like, bam, you won a VR headset. But really, it's like you're a winner, and he thought he won a chalupa because it doesn't tell you what you won initially, and he thought there was more than just the one prize.
Either one of those would be great.
Yeah, it's not. There's no loss there. It's
I'll take a free chalupa. No. That's fine.
So he's like, what did I win? And then it sends emails like, hey, your VR thing is going to be on its way. And he's like, well, I'll be damned. No chalupa.
I'd be a little bit pissed about not getting the chalupa, but I'd be real happy about the VR.
Well, you would be if you had a PS4. If you're him, you're like, well, okay.
Yeah, I'd rather have that chalupa.
It's one of the things that I can't use. So that's a shout out to my dad for hooking me up.
What up, Joe?
That's also my Christmas and birthday present, I was informed.
Oh.
Which is kind of shady.
It cost him $5 in the change.
Right. But at the same time, it's saving me $500, so I get it.
Cost him a fucking taco box.
Right, I get it. Big box. Quesarito, big box. I've had 4 of those. I haven't won anything, so fuck you, Taco Bell.
Man, I ate one of them, and it was disgusting. I was happy that I didn't win.
You weren't happy that you didn't win.
You were happy that you didn't shit all over yourself.
He probably did.
That's
true. Think of how much better that box would have tasted if it came with a $500 VR.
Oh, I don't know. I still have doubts about eating it.
What are you getting in there? The hot one?
The quesarito?
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was an option. I just got a quesarito.
Oh, yeah, there's a hot one.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Like a habanero quesarito.
They didn't tell me about that. Nashville's stupid. They don't tell you about anything.
I always get the double D combo.
I don't like that.
Nashville
I like
also doesn't ask you what you would like to order when you pull up to Taco Bell. You just pull up and they go, hey, how's it going? And then they sit there for 6 minutes.
I hate that. There's a McDonald's here. I don't know if I've talked about on this podcast, but as I've told everybody, that automatically upsizes your drinks.
Without you asking?
Yeah, and I'm like, you have to tell them you don't want it, and I'm pissed off about it.
Whoa. Which one is that?
The one over on Exit 1. I don't even know if it was here when you lived here.
I'd let them hand it out the window.
Yeah, it was. Next to the convenience store?
I'd say, hey, I didn't ask for this and get a refund on it.
Yeah, so you order, and automatically you get the small. That's what it is. That's what you're ordering.
Right.
Yeah.
They automatically upsize it to a medium without ever asking you or saying a word.
And they charge you.
Yeah. You just pull up and you say, I want a number 4. They ring you up for a medium number 4.
Fuck that.
They don't ask you if you...
They don't say a word to you.
That's stealing.
I know. I always say, I want that to be a small, and they're like, oh, sorry. And then they take it off and put it back on, but they automatically do it every time. Lunch, breakfast, like the manager in that store has told them to do that, and it's bullshit. I'm going to call in on them.
You should do it.
Because how many people just pay that and they go on about their day, and that's not fair.
Bust out your phone and record the order, and then call the DM and be like, hey, I just need you to know that I placed an order at your store, and without asking for it, they charged me for a medium. I'm going to need to get all that for free.
Yeah, they do it every time.
Yeah.
They don't give me any like bullshit about going to a small. They always act like they didn't realize. So like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They've been coached up. I'm fucking tired of it. I feel like it's
I'm not gonna take it anymore.
It's my duty to fix this problem.
I thought you were
just
gonna
let them give it all to you out of the window, and then tell them, "Hey, I didn't order any of this medium."
I'll just take the lid off and I'll dump half of it out back into the window.
I thought you were gonna say it's my duty to please that booty.
Now,
why was that gonna be what I said?
I don't know. It was really out of context, but that's what I heard when you said that.
At McDonald's, it's clearly not the drink that costs them anything to upsize. It's the fries, because you get a drink any size for $1.
Right, but I don't want the bigger fries, or I would have ordered them.
Right.
I think it's the fact that they just do it as if I'll take it because I'm fat, and that's pissing me off.
Well, they don't know you're fat when you pull
they
up.
assume everyone eating there is fat.
Oh, they're not wrong about that. If you eat at McDonald's, you're a fatty.
So they're just
I eat
like,
at McDonald's.
Hey, Fatzilla, you're going to take this, and
I'm
you're going to
not
like
fat.
it. And that's bothering me.
I don't like Matt assuming just because people eat at fast food, they're fat.
No, he's right.
He's not right. Fuck you two.
He's right. I mean, I would know I eat
for
there.
fat people.
Yeah.
I eat fast food. I'm not fat.
Yet. Keep eating it, see what happens.
Okay,
Bingo.
I'm 11 years older than you, you dumb piece of shit. If I'm not fat yet, it's probably not happening.
I'm older, so you're dumb.
Right.
That's what just,
Right.
that's what just happened
Wisdom.
right there.
It's fine.
That got real
Keep
childish.
thinking that way. One day you're going to look down and be huge.
That's
you're
not
wonder
gonna
what
happen.
happened. You're going to think
Guess
back
what?
to this conversation
Every time I look down, I'm huge.
because of your belly.
It's a dick joke.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I know
Sounds
what
like
it
a
is.
belly joke.
I get
Dick
it.
joke, yeah.
In context, it sounds like a belly
It
joke.
does sound like one in context. But I took it out of context and made it a dick joke.
Right. Nothing wrong with a good dick joke
Right.
on Sunday
I'm
morning.
not even sure it was a good dick joke, but it was a dick joke.
Right.
Yeah, you look down and see a massive whale.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about the tum-tum.
Pants are fitting a little snug this morning. What's going on?
Yep. Large right here in the middle section.
That's my boner.
Wow. That's how I go try clothes on, just full
That's
erect.
cool.
Dick
Nice and
joke.
subtle, Dan.
Dick joke.
That's not a joke. You just said it. Yeah, I go try on clothes with a full erection. Always.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You just come out and you're like, hey, does this look pretty good?
I just come out and go,
Turn
none of
sideways.
these fit. And I just
I can't get the zipper
and I
up.
have it down with it just
Hang
shooting
it
out.
to the right.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
Swinging
engorged.
low.
You got it shot down the left leg. You're like, something's wrong with the pleat on these pants.
It's
It's
real tight on the right
engorged. Is
side.
that what? Did you say it's engorged?
Yeah. It is.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. This is a
Shit.
podcast about video games.
All right. Nobody listens to it anymore. Let's get down to topics.
Yeah. If you've got what you've needed out of this, cut it off. We're going to get down to the
Yeah.
real meat and potatoes, which are my favorite two things.
I like onions with meat and potatoes.
Grilled onions?
So pretty much anything that we cook, I put butter and onions and salt and pepper in the pan
I don't
first,
like-
and I put the rest of the stuff in there.
I like the flavor of onions. I do not like the texture.
I like onions, but they have to be like really grilled for me, like almost burnt.
Mm-hmm.
So I just use like minced
Caramelized.
onion for stuff.
I can't. Onions hit me really hard.
Are you guys like Ricky, where they have to be cut a certain way? See, I like mine. I like rings, half moons, or dice. Like any of it's fine, but Ricky likes it chunked. Like you just quarter the onion and put that in there.
Oh, I don't care how they're cut, but I have to be like 15 feet away until they are in the pan for like 5 minutes.
No, I
Really?
like them.
Oh.
I only like diced.
They
I
fuck
usually
up my eyes for hours.
I usually buy the minced onion
I like
Yeah.
that. I like
Like-
that.
and I do that.
Rehydrate it.
Yep, use that with usually some minced garlic for
Yeah.
like my base for whatever I'm cooking.
Yeah.
That way, because you don't get that gross texture that I don't like, but you still get the flavor.
I love onion.
Yeah, I like onion. They're good
We'll probably
on.
buy 7 or 8 onions a week.
They're good on a hot dog.
They are good on a hot dog. We also send them through the mandolin for hamburgers. Get them just paper thin.
I'm not fancy enough to have one
A mandolin or an onion?
either.
Oh, you gotta watch out with a mandolin. You'll take the tips of your fingers off if you don't use the guard.
I already took those off for fingerprint purposes.
Right.
In case I ever get printed, of just leaving just black circles on the paper.
For when he robbed Fort Knox,
Yeah. No, you don't rob something that big. You rob small
I expect you to die, Mr. Bond.
convenience stores and whatnot.
Did you guys watch that movie with Kirk and the crazy dude from
What?
30 Days of Night? What the hell's the name?
Kirk
of
and the
movie?
Crazy Dude.
Haven't
Oh
seen
man,
it.
it's a movie that just came out.
Can't
It's about
say.
2 dudes in Texas and they rob banks.
Can't say I have.
Shit, we just watched it.
It's got Ben Foster and Chris Pine in it.
Yeah, Kirk and the crazy guy from 30 Days of Night.
Nobody would have ever got that with those details.
What the hell is the name of that movie?
It doesn't
I
matter.
don't know.
Anyway, it's really good. Go see it if you get a chance. It's good.
No, I haven't seen it. You know what I did watch this week?
But that
Ryan,
follows,
Ryan knows, and he's not near as excited as you might be.
Luke Cage. I'm not excited either.
I did watch Luke Cage, and I finished
Yeah.
up long way. But no, I watched the resurrection of Jake the Snake.
Oh yeah. That's pretty cool. Did you finish it all the way?
Yeah.
Old Jake.
This is
my
the second
favorite
time
wrestler
I
when I
got to
was a
hear
kid.
this story, and I'm just
Upset.
as excited about it this time.
Probably less so.
No, it's about the same, I assure you.
Well, that's good. At least it's not less. That's good.
Well, it's pretty damn low to start with.
WWE's on the horizon. I'm real excited. Jake the Snake's in that.
What?
WWE 2K17 on the horizon.
Oh yeah, Jake's on.
Was that Tuesday?
The 17th.
Oh, well, it's forever away.
Not this Tuesday, but the next
I'll
one.
be living in virtual reality by then.
Is Ricky Steamboat in it? Is Ricky Steamboat in it too?
Probably. He's been in it for like 5 years.
I love the Dragon. I love the Dragon and Jake the Snake were my two favorite wrestlers.
The roster hasn't changed much since 2012. They just keep putting the new NXT guys in.
Why don't you get it, Dan? Y'all can wrestle each other.
I probably won't get it.
A lot of cool features added this year.
The universe mode.
That's always there.
It's new.
It's not.
It's new features in the universe mode.
They always say that. I'm skeptical until it comes out.
New features in the universe mode.
The actual new stuff are
Someone's skeptical about professional wrestling. No way.
Yeah. So the new features are you can taunt the crowd or your opponent instead of just having like 4 arbitrary taunts. You can taunt at your opponent to gain some kind of advantage. I think it gets you closer to doing your finisher, or you can taunt to the crowd, which gets you more momentum for some. I don't remember exactly how the system works, but you have 2 different sets of taunts this year. You can also taunt off the turnbuckle, which you haven't been able to do before. So a lot of like playing it up to the crowd. They have lots of new finishers and stuff. Lots of cool new features this year. So we'll see if it turns out to be pretty good. I'm excited for it though.
Fair enough.
I got that NXT special edition with that Finn Balor statue.
What's that cost?
It was $119, and then I get a 20% discount because it's Best Buy. Really worked out to have him be the statue guy, though. He dislocated his shoulder, like his second match on the main roster, and he's out for the next year.
Awesome. Oh, and I played Rocket League this week, too.
I'm still working on that Metal Gear Plat.
You were playing that when we were playing Rocket League.
Yeah, I S-ranked a couple more missions, and then I was playing it before the podcast, trying to knock another one out. I'm just trying to get to the end of it. It's not far, though.
Rocket League, I'm just trying to play forever.
Right.
I really want that Dominus GT. It's not happening for me.
You haven't gotten a car yet, have you?
No. But I don't care about the other cars. I only want the one. Like, I'm going to stop buying crates when I get that one car. I think it's the only thing I want out of the crates. If I would have got it the first try, I would have spent $1. But now I've spent like $25.
I still have a key left, so I've actually only spent $4.
Yeah, I play a lot, though. I get a lot of crates.
Well, I play a lot, too. I don't get a lot of crates for whatever reason.
Yeah, you play a lot, but I play a lot.
You play a lot more than I do.
Like, I play an obnoxious amount.
Yeah. An annoying amount.
I play probably between 15 and 20 hours a week of that game.
That's like a part-time job.
Yeah, I probably only play 12 or 13.
'Cause I play like 4 hours a night when I get on. And some nights I play all 5 days.
Yeah, and I usually play for about an hour and a half when I get on with you guys, because you guys don't get on until like way late.
9:30 my time. Or
10:30 my time.
Right, and I play till like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Right, and I usually go to bed at 12 because I have a job and I like to perform well at it.
I mean, speak for yourself. I think I perform fine. And I got a lot.
You might get your reports in before the deadline, though, if you just got a little bit more.
I'm getting them in before the deadline.
Right.
They won't.
I mean, before the day before the deadline.
That's not the deadline, though.
Right.
If you want them in the day before, change the deadline.
We've had this discussion, I know.
Why do you even have deadlines if you want it in before then?
You don't get to change the deadline to a different deadline when the deadline's already been set by somebody above you.
That's like the most frustrating thing about my job, is that people want it in before it's actually due. And I'm like, well, then change when it's due, because I'm not doing anything wrong.
Right.
There's nothing that says don't wait till the last minute. I'm fine. Was it late? No.
Have they tried to call you out on that yet?
Yeah, I just got called out on it like 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
I was asked how I could be assisted to get things in earlier. And I'm like, were they late? And they're like, well, no. What's the fucking problem then? I'm just having a real hard time figuring out what I did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. Then what are we talking about? Just get them in earlier. Were they due earlier? No. We're not going to get anywhere.
Right.
You sound like a straight shooter with upper management written
Right.
all over you.
Like, it was a strange conversation because I felt as if I had done something wrong.
It was just a constant circle.
Yeah.
Of nobody getting anywhere.
25 minutes of that right there. You're just having a hard time grasping the request here.
Right. Well, why do you need it earlier? Well, because, well, then why is the deadline this?
That was
why
what I
isn't
kept
the
getting
deadline
stuck.
this?
If it's due on Friday, but you want it by Wednesday, what if it was just due on Wednesday?
Right.
Right.
Well,
Then
it's
they'd
not.
want it on Monday.
Chart.
Well, it's not. It's due on Friday.
Then
We
they'd
don't
want it on
Yeah,
Monday.
because we don't actually need it till Monday.
Right. Am I in trouble here?
Yeah, what did I do wrong?
Right.
Just to recap, it was due Friday and I turned it in Friday. Correct. But you wanted it some other time. That's right. But it's not really due till Monday. 100%. I don't know what's happening.
Fired?
Yeah. Am I getting a raise? Could go either way.
Right. It sounds like you're doing your job spot on, but who
No,
knows? at
that's
this
not
point.
enough. They want
It
you to
never
do it
is.
earlier.
Right. They want you to have 30 pieces of flair, but the minimum's 15.
Yeah, why don't you just make the minimum 30?
right.
Not breaking any rules.
The good thing is, technically, I guess you can't get in trouble for it.
No, but you get to have weird ass conversations about
Well,
it.
hey, that's an adventure as far as I'm concerned.
It is
Right.
the first time. It's not over and over and over. You're like, all right, well, we're at an impasse. So
We've been here.
Right.
Hold on. I feel like I'm having deja vu. I feel like we've had this conversation before.
yeah. I want to help you out. I don't know how. I'm on your side, I think. It's just if I'm not doing anything wrong, I'd like to go back to doing my job now. If that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, we just wasted a whole bunch of breath.
Yeah, a whole lot of
No
time.
reason.
I feel like we're wasting a lot of time right now. So, nothing we talked about to this point was actually on the ticket for today.
Right.
We
We need to fly through these.
we spent 55 minutes. No, it's not right. My math is off. 35
It's way
minutes.
off. 35 minutes.
Talking
You
about
added
wow.
instead of subtracted, you dummy.
Are you done?
Fat people,
Am I
you're
dumb
younger than
because
me.
you're
You're
older
dumb.
than me too?
Yeah.
He's 11 years older, so you're stupid.
I'm 3 inches taller, asshole. Let's talk about the NX again.
All right.
I'm excited about this NX, and I'm not the only one. It appears Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot,
Use nuts.
or that, very grown up of you. He's also very excited about the NX, and he can't stop gushing about it. This is like this fourth time that he's talked about how great the NX is going to be, and he's talking to shareholders about it, which is weird because they don't give a shit.
They just want money.
Yeah, I think he's actually excited about it because he's telling people that don't really care. He said, quote, "I believe Nintendo will be back in the race with the NX," end quote. Does that do anything for you guys?
No.
Well, if I knew a little bit more about what it was,
All right.
I could agree or disagree.
I've got, I think 2 more quotes.
Okay.
It's a new approach.
All right.
Okay.
So you're saying,
It's
like,
easy.
what if we took the controller as you know it and split it into one part of it in each hand and made you wave it around like you're dumb?
Actually, that's just rumors. We don't know.
Well, it sounds like a new approach to me.
All right, let me add some clarification to this.
There's any number of new approaches.
It's a really new approach. It's really
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo.
So it's something dumb.
We love it.
So it's going to be stupid because the Wii and the Wii U were very Nintendo and they were very stupid.
So look though, but Ubi is on point right now.
Well, the thing is here's what you got to remember, though, that I think maybe some people may have forgotten, is Ubisoft was all about the Wii U, too.
Yeah.
I would say Ubisoft was more committed than most developers. I don't know if all about. I mean, they pulled the plug pretty early on when Zombie.
But before it came out, they were
Zombie.
Yeah, they were
saying stuff like this.
tooting the horn. But I think Ubi is in a good spot right now. The division was massive for them. I actually think that I'd read something saying it was the most sold game in 2016 for Ubisoft. And the Tom Clancy, the what is it, the Rainbow Six?
Rainbow Six?
That game caught on, not when it came out, but it caught on several months later.
Talking about Siege?
Siege, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's done pretty well after. They've got the Fractured Butthole, which got pushed back to next year. I mean, and they're also trying to avoid a hostile takeover.
Right.
Which is looming.
Who's trying to take them over?
Vivendi.
Vivendi.
Really?
Probably not trying to, probably going to. They now own 22.6% of Ubi. And they're coming hard.
They're just buying up stock.
Coming hard.
Coming real hard.
Can somebody please remind me what Vivendi is responsible for?
They're like a media conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have video games right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
they
used
have
to be.
in the
Vivendi
past,
Universal,
but it was
that like a
arcades.
Yeah, Vivendi Universal was a thing, but they got out of the video game business.
Okay.
They used to do arcade games, but I don't think they've done very much at all for consoles.
Well, they
PC.
did publishing stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
They've already completed their hostile takeover of Gameloft.
Poor Gameloft.
That's Yeve's brother. So it seems like they got a bone to pick with them.
It's so personal, it seems.
It does seem personal. So they just had the shareholder meeting where they could have requested to be part of the board. They did not request it. And that's a big win for Ubi, but this is going to get real ugly.
Probably.
Yeah. Yves says he will not stay if they take over, but that's probably also their choice.
Yeah, again, it comes down to something personal there.
Right. They don't. Well, they shot him down when they tried to do it the right way, and just come buy them out. They're like, but he's like, we're not for sale to you assholes.
Right.
Like my stock's not for sale.
You think this is all pending the success of Watch Dogs 2?
I think Watch Dogs 2. I think Wildlands.
I think Watch Dogs 2 is going to be a success.
Watch Dogs 2. I watched
it looks
15 minutes of it. It looks like I want to play that game.
Yeah, I watched the guys over at Kinda Funny play.
Yeah, it looks real good.
And it was Tim Geddes and Greg Miller were playing. They were like driving around San Francisco, and they're like, "Here's where our apartment is, and here's where the old office is, and here's." They took you to like Ubisoft, and they knew the cross streets and everything. It looks quite legit. I don't know if it looks like something I care about, but it looks like something that the masses will for sure.
Yeah, I think I want to play that game.
Yeah.
So let's circle back around the NX.
Okay.
Is this Ubi fluff like the Wii U, or do you think they really have something that is impressing people?
I'm gonna go with Ubi. I'm gonna go with fluff.
Just because they did this on the Wii U, you feel like?
Well, because of that, plus what they've got pending with the takeover and everything. He wants to get his face out here and say nice things and get as many people on his side as he can.
But does that make the takeover? If I know that you're doing big things for a thing that you think is a big thing, doesn't that make me want to take it over more?
I don't know.
They've got Just Dance in development, and they also have, I think, other projects. Is the way that they announced it.
I don't know. I think this is just. I mean, the thing is Ubisoft has never disparaged anybody that they can, any platform that they can put a game on. I think this is just more of that.
I think that's fair. They like technology because they're on board with VR too.
Yeah, I can't be wrong all the time, so maybe they're right here. I don't know. I don't. There's not enough that's not speculation on the NX for me to confidently say whether or not I trust what Ubisoft is saying, and Ubisoft is hit or miss with me.
They have got to Nintendo has got to announce something.
I agree with that.
Weren't they supposed to announce in September?
I don't think they put a date on it, but there are like a million reports that it is in full production.
It's constantly coming.
Like it is in full production, and they still have not announced it. And their reason for not announcing it is they said they were afraid that the technology would be copied before they released, if they showed it already.
Unless it's a box with a sweet-ass controller, kind of like this.
Well, here's my question.
I don't think anybody's going to copy it.
Here's my question. Okay, if that's a concern of Nintendo, then how much of a technological step or change is this? If it's that easy to copy.
Maybe it's VR.
Why did it take them 3 years to do it, and they're worried someone else can copy it in 6 months?
Right.
Because maybe it's one of those things that you don't think about until you see it.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer, but it's one of people are overcomplicating it.
It's too simple.
All it needs to be is this tablet with the controllers that pop off that look like NES controllers that play all of Nintendo's libraries from everything they've ever made.
All it needs to be is a box and a controller.
They'll make $1 billion if it's just a mobile way and a home way to play all the old Nintendo stuff.
Right, but what if it's just a competing console with PlayStation and Xbox? What if it's just a really, really good home console and they take it back to its roots of a box with a controller and you go buy games for it?
They can, but they won't.
That's not Nintendo.
I mean, we do know that it's going to run the new Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
So it is at least powerful enough to compete with the Wii U. But it appears from everyone and everything that it does have some sort of mobile element.
Now, what if it is a micro PC? These little guys, they're about the size of a cell phone. That have like 3 USB ports and HDMI port out the back. What if it's like that, and you just take that little thing, you plug it up to any TV.
You still got to have a
PC
screen
monitor.
to plug it up to, or it's useless.
Right, but you can take it anywhere. If there is a TV screen or a PC monitor, you can plug it up with an HDMI cable. You've got your little controllers on USB, or you can Bluetooth in a tablet.
So you're saying
What
not
if it's-
play anywhere, but play anywhere you're going
Play
to.
on anything.
Right.
Yeah. What if it's something that you just take that box with you, and wherever you're at, you just sit down and you can play?
I mean, it's great, but it's useless for me because the only place I play is in front of my TV at home. I
mean, it
understand
works
that
fine stationary.
I understand that so much of the masses don't. That so many of them are on the go and constantly playing on other
Right.
things.
Oh.
But I play on my TV, sitting in my chair in my living room. So I don't need that. That's all. That is useless to me.
I mean, that's why the mobile tablet idea doesn't interest me, because I don't give a shit if it's mobile or not. If it sits down right here at my studio desk, and I can play it on my TV that sits over my computer monitors and have an equal gaming experience to what I have on my PlayStation 4, then I'm more interested in that than I am whether or not I can play it in the car.
Yeah.
So I don't have the info in front of me, but there's also a European retailer put up a list page for the NX, and they listed a price that translated to roughly $450.
I would have said $399.
That's high.
I don't know. The Nintendo has the
450
good
is
graces. Has the good graces of the public to get more than 300.
I hope that was just a placeholder price that they just popped in there.
I mean,
That's high.
I think if they can come out and have a great showing, $399 is a great price point for a brand new console. It's affordable. You have to think about it a little bit, so they actually have to show you something that's worth spending that money, right? $399 is a great price, and $299 is something for a proven console, and anything less than that, you've cheapened yourself.
I don't know that is a good
but
price for Nintendo.
Yeah, but I mean,
They do not have the public, the well wishes of the public like Sony and Microsoft did.
right? But if you
There's
come out,
never been an argument over, Nintendo or this, Nintendo or this. Nobody
but
ever
if you
says
can-
that. The argument is Microsoft and Sony. I think if Nintendo comes in more than 300, they've lost half of the sales they could have possibly had.
well, let's say they come out with something that visually blows your nips off, and they start showing how you play the games, and that's something that also blows your nips off. Now,
Okay.
$399 seems like a fair price for something that's new and innovative and exciting and competes, versus cheapening what they have by making the price low. Now, if it is a Wii U and they haven't changed anything, then the price should be $250, right? Tops. But if it's something new, if it really is a game changer, then come out and prove it, and then put a price on it that makes everybody have to buy in.
I mean, I agree with that. The problem is what you're describing does not sound like Nintendo in any of their incarnations.
You're exactly right.
So I guess the other thing that I think about is to do what you're saying, like to get people excited so that you can justify the price point. Like that needs to start now.
yeah, it should have been going
That's not
already.
something they can do 3 weeks before it comes out.
Yeah, they should have shown at Tokyo Game Show or something. They should have had a Nintendo Direct that week. There should have been something.
But I think they're worried. I think that's part of the reason they're playing things so close to the vest is because they kind of realize that this is one of our last legs here. We're either going to jump or fall.
Well, the idea that Nintendo is realize anything or worried, I would say highly unlikely.
I know they're not worried. I know they're fine, but this is I mean, as far as their consoles go, they have their hands in so many things. But the Wii U was incredibly successful, although critically panned as a system.
The Wii.
Or the Wii, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Wii U pretty much panned all the way around.
All right.
They've got to do something here.
64 was huge. The GameCube wasn't. The Wii was huge. The Wii U wasn't.
Yeah, but I think you don't look back at the GameCube and go, man, that wasn't huge as far as a retail success, but that console was fantastic.
Doesn't matter.
Right?
Retail, it was a failure sales wise.
Yes.
Right, but the Wii U, right? You look back and you go, that's a failure sales wise, but you don't also look back and go, yeah, but it was still a really great console.
I think you do. I think the problem is that people don't have it or don't play it or don't have the games on it. Like, I could give you as many games as you play on the PS4 for the Wii U that are good. As many as you play. They're not as many total, but as many as you play.
The GameCube was the last time that there were games for all three systems that I wanted to play on the Nintendo console. Right? And there were exclusive games that I wanted to play on the Nintendo console. They were remakes. They were the Resident Evil remake and the Metal Gear remake and stuff like that. But all of the wrestling games and everything like that, they were all on GameCube. That was the last time Nintendo had a console that was in the running.
Well, part of that, Matt, I think, too, was you've grown and matured into, air quotes, an adult since that time.
Let's be easy with all that.
Yeah, but I mean, if the Wii U had come out and been better than the PlayStation 4, I would have bought that.
Yeah, I mean, it's real easy to want all of them when you're 14 years old, and so you want to play all those. But when you're buying them for yourself and you have to make those decisions, you don't necessarily want the same things you wanted when you were 14.
But in the GameCube days, I think they were a legitimate competitor. Now I think they are a complementary system.
I agree with that 100%.
So I think it's okay not to be that powerhouse because I don't think they can be.
But now you're talking $450 for a complimentary system
work.
to your $300 to your $400 system.
That's right. If the NX is a complimentary system,
and if it's not, then for the love of God, talk about it.
Right.
So that I can start saving my money now because I can't afford to buy everything.
Right.
So, and I assume other people can't either. So, like, talk about it now so people can know how much they need to spend.
Yep. Man,
I don't know.
What the fuck is...
Excited about the Wii NX. The Weenix. Maybe that's what they'll call it.
The Weenix?
The Weenix.
It's probably not happening, but okay. That's a good name.
He didn't think the Wii U was going to happen either.
Well,
yeah.
They nailed it with that
always
name.
Surprises us.
They nailed it.
Yeah.
You ready for this segue, Matt?
It's already ruined.
Speaking of nailing it. Xbox. Still on a roll. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. The latest weekly numbers came in, and Xbox One sales rose by over 1,000% week over week in the UK.
Nice.
You know why?
Because they were pretty low to start with.
Because why?
They're pretty low to start with.
In FIFA 17 bundle.
So FIFA, it came out, but they were also really low to start with.
They were really low to start with, but Europeans love them some football.
Well, they have the, I think you mean soccer. They have the...
it's football to them.
Yeah, I think you mean soccer.
I'm catering to our European audience at this point.
Soccer.
I think you mean soccer.
Right.
I'm catering to our European audience. I'm trying to bring people in.
Me too.
You want me to do my job? I will
listen, European audience. It's called soccer.
Soccer.
You know the football because you keep having us fly over there and play it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just call yours soccer.
Forever.
They have the Xbox S FIFA bundle.
Yes.
Right.
A good call.
It's also hard to keep selling PlayStation 4s and everybody's got one.
Oh, shit. Shots fired.
Yeah.
The Xbox One S has been good for Microsoft.
Yes, it has.
I think they're doing good things. I don't think they're going to continue to lead forever like Sony did for 2 years, but I think they're certainly in a good place. The FIFA bundle's smart, timely, and you appeal to an audience that you have clearly struggled with.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's pretty... Microsoft making some good moves after severely fucking up the launch of the Xbox One.
Pretty smart.
So Kotaku published a big old report about Destiny 2, a big old fat report.
Mm-hmm.
Big old fat report. A lot of it I'm not going to bother to talk about because the game still hasn't been officially announced, even though everyone knows it's happened. But the part that I thought was most interesting is it looks like it's coming to PC.
Yeah.
At launch, day and date.
Destiny 2 in 2017.
Hopefully they have all three communities together on the same.
But it has not been officially announced.
Service.
At least allow PC to play with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know in that game it will create an advantage in some of the PvP stuff. But that game is perfect for the PC community.
We'll keep the multiplayer stuff.
Right.
What's the word?
Separated, segmented,
segregated.
Yeah, segregated.
Keep the multiplayer stuff segregated, and let the overworld stuff be
Yeah, I don't.
PC and PS4 and everybody plays together.
Yeah, I don't know how complicated that is, but I think that game is totally at home. A lot of the menu and UI stuff feels like PC already.
Yeah,
I think that game is going to do really well on PC. People have been screaming for Destiny to come to PC this whole time. So
it would do well on PC.
I think so too. I think it's already a pretty healthy community, and I think it'll just be better by coming to PC. And they don't have the limitations of the old system, so they'll have PC, Xbox One, and PS4. So I think, and Destiny has become something that people love, and I think Destiny 2 is probably going to be pretty fucking massive.
I would imagine.
So I think that's pretty neat.
And it is huge. People. The funny thing about Destiny is it's not like you're either all in or not in at all. There isn't an in between. Kind of like Rocket League, I guess.
Yeah.
Rocket League's for everybody.
Not me.
It is for you. You just don't play it.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't really have. Most of the people in there aren't really just like casually playing it.
At this point, a year after launch, there's certainly an entry level to Rocket League now that didn't exist 8 months ago. Anybody could pick it up and play.
Right.
It's a lot harder to jump in now, but I guess it's hard for me to realize because we play at a higher level.
Right.
So it's harder for me to think that you could just pick it up and play it. I did play with someone who hadn't played it ever about a month ago, and it was very painful.
It hurt? Yeah.
For me to watch them try because it's hard to just jump in. And I remember those days of being just a total piece of shit and you not realizing it. But it was fine because the people around me were pieces of shit too. So trying to play with people who have been playing for a year steady.
When you all suck, one thing.
Right. But Howard, who we play with a lot,
he
started way later than everybody else. And he has, just through sheer just dedication,
determination,
I guess we'll call
and willpower.
Right. Has caught up to where he's playing on a level where it's comfortable for us to all play together. And he was bad when we started.
He was pretty bad, yeah.
Bad.
He was.
So it could be done.
I think the key is to have friends that you can play with.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Until you get better. Because I do believe that playing against a better caliber, playing with a better caliber of people, does make you better and help you learn quicker and kind of upgrade your learning curve. But, man, if you don't have those two buddies on your team to guide you through it, you are just fucked in your butt.
And it gets a little touchy sometimes when you start calling people out.
Uh-huh.
But I went on a tear last night before you got on, where I almost almost fucking shut my PS4 off because I was too goddamn good for that game.
No, you didn't.
I did. I played 5 matches, MVP all 5 of them. And this is with strangers, which I hate playing with. And I don't think I had less than 3 goals in any game. And they were all fucking incredible goals. But those nights don't happen often, and it went away by the time you got on. Which we did okay.
But we went about 500.
We were also playing Rumble, which is not a true test of skill.
Right.
In Rocket League. This next story should have probably been our first headline. But the asshole that put all this in order didn't do it right.
That son of a bitch.
We're not going to make a big to-do about it, but Ubisoft basically says if Assassin's Creed and the new Far Cry aren't ready next year, they're not going to come out. which is
I like that.
which is amazing. A company that's not been able to do that in the past.
Now they're taking a year for alphas and betas of games before they release them.
They just want to make good games.
Uh-huh.
And he was very the VP guy. I forgot his name. He's very clear.
It's Tommy Francois.
He's very clear. He dropped some F-bombs in the quote. And basically the fucking game will be out when it's fucking ready.
Yeah.
That's a paraphrasing. But
now, what do you think changed? What do you think changed?
Because I think they can't afford a misstep with the hostile takeover looming. They can't afford to put out another Unity.
Yes.
Because the shares drop, Vivendi writes bigger checks.
Yep.
They have to do things. You know, you remember when everyone tried this with Rockstar.
Uh-huh.
But Take-Two, the people have tried this. We're gonna EA. You're gonna sell to us, or we're gonna take you over. So what do? You make $500 million in an afternoon.
Right.
Because then they can't.
Because then your stock costs too much.
Yeah, you're too expensive to take over that way. So I think Ubisoft is just trying to be smart. Wildlands is going to be real big for them.
I think so.
You know,
Watch Dogs 2 as well.
Watch Dogs 2
talked about.
The Division 2 will be announced some point. The new Far Cry, the new Assassin's Creed. The last Assassin's Creed was awesome. So if they take 2 to 3 years to actually build a new one, and those people get away from the fatigue they had in making assassin games all the time, like that should be amazing. It should be the jump from 1 to 2.
I still want to play the new one, Syndicate.
Yeah, I
still want to play
wrapped up
it.
still.
Son of a bitch.
I know. I
want to play it.
I need to. It's on the list, on the short list. But I'll be just sitting on my couch like a zombie shitting on myself with that headset on soon.
Ooh, love it.
Yeah.
Reminds me, I need a new headset.
Yeah, you do. It's weird. You're not wanting to spend the money on it, but I don't think you understand how much you use that thing.
No, I think I'm going to get one today.
You sound like you were playing in the other room last night, but I wasn't an asshole about it because I knew you were already feeling some sort of way. So I just let it ride.
I tried to fix mine. I mean, I got the PX21.
That's all
that I used with my PS3.
Right.
This headset is probably 6 years old. 7 years old. I have gotten some fucking mileage out of that thing.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I love it. I know how it works. I know the intricacies and the quirks. And I tried to do some sort of splicing and electrical taping, and I didn't.
Oh no!
Didn't go the way. Well, what happened is they separated from the earpiece. The wire started to separate on one side, and was starting to unravel. So I had to do something. So rather than immediately step out and buy a new one, I was like, well, let me see if I can get this figured out and maybe make it work. And I got most of it to work except for nobody can hear me.
Right, without the soldering iron and the
which are
shrink
packed up.
tubing, you're going to have a hard time with shielding on a microphone and headphones.
Which are packed up, so I couldn't mess with that. So it was basically came down to trying to splice the wires and electrical tape them.
Oh, no.
It doesn't work at all. It was just pops and clicks whenever he got back on.
Of course it was.
That was me messing with it, too, trying to make it work. I was like, well, maybe I just got to... maybe
if I jerk it off.
So, yeah, I would... so, I was a little let down.
So the next story is that the ESRB has officially rated The Last Guardian. That's not exciting. But there's some info in the...
Is it mature?
It's a teen.
That's about
for
right.
blood, fantasy, violence. But there's a rating summary which explains why it's rated what it's rated. I was going to read that on here, but the more I read through it, the more I think that if you have stayed away from everything for 10 years, that you may not want to hear it. Yeah. So I'm not going to read it.
Good.
But you guys can go find it online. And I've included the link for you guys.
Yeah, not going to read it.
But the listeners can find it online. I was going to read it. It's not super spoilery. There's just one or two parts where you're like, if I didn't know about that, I might have been surprised. So there's a game coming out on Fig. Fig is the crowdfunding platform that's sort of like Kickstarter, but they've been trying this entire time to make it open for anybody. Because, you can only do super high-level investment if you are the SEC, like they have, you have to follow their rules, which is a certain dollar amount. You have to be worth so much liquid, and it's like a big fucking deal to actually make money off of something you support. So they have a game coming out, and this is not really the story, but you make it's called a Make Sail, a physics-based boat construction and sailing game, and that sounds like everything I need.
I didn't realize you were a sailor.
I'm not yet, but I like the idea of building a sailboat and hopefully seeing how well it sails. Then it's like
It's kind of like Kerbal,
but with sailing
with boats.
with boats. I think I like boats more than rockets.
Yeah.
So-
Sharks in that water, though.
Oh yeah, you're probably not gonna play it.
Nope.
But that's really not the story. I just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out. The story is that that Fig has finally been granted qualification by the SEC to allow people to buy game shares. So now non-accredited investors can back a project and actually enjoy profit from the game.
So like me and
That's
you?
pretty cool.
Like you and I can put up $1,000 and actually get some money back as that game sells, without being.
It's like Shark Tank.
It is, but the problem with like normal games is you have to be accredited, and that is, it's like stupid. You have to be like very wealthy, basically.
Yeah.
It's making sure that the wealthy stays wealthy. That's old rules that are shitty, and Fig somehow got around it. And so now, if you see a project on Fig like the selling game that you really believe in, you can actually earn money back by believing in that project and putting money up. And I think that's awesome.
You putting in $1,000 there, Ryan?
Negative. I don't have $1,000. I'm gonna put in 3 VR codes, which could equal $1,500.
Uh-huh. If you win one, I call dibs.
No, I'm putting them in Fig. You could buy the selling
He's
game.
not that kind of friend, dude.
Yeah.
I see that.
Oh yeah, Matt tried that bullshit too. Don't even. What are you doing with your pre-order when like I was gonna fucking give it to him?
I didn't say give
No,
it to
but-
me. I would pay you for it.
I will start. If Jeff will hold on to it without selling it out from under it, I will pay on that pre-order.
I'll ask you.
I'm guessing you decided to hold on to that.
You know I did. Here's the thing though, I would hold on to that pre-order all the way till it comes out either way, because if I cancel it now, they won't send it to the store.
No. What I'm meaning is the the statue, the mech statue.
Oh no, I didn't hold on to it. I just never sent it to you.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you decided you wanted it.
No, it's still yours. I just never sent it to you.
I remember
Okay.
talking to you one afternoon saying you were saying I got to get this sent to Dan. I thought you had sent it to him already.
Clearly not. There was no deadline.
What's nice though is that
Right. Set a deadline.
expectations were pretty much met. So I kind of knew that he wouldn't get around to it.
Also, Dan never
anytime
paid
quick.
me for it, so don't let him be too
I
much
haven't
of a
paid him
victim.
for it yet.
Yeah.
So
Technically, it's just my fucking statue right now.
right. That's fair.
I would have felt more obligated had you paid me, or had I said you'll have it by Friday,
All right.
which I didn't do either one of those things.
By Friday, but I want it on a Wednesday.
Right. You know,
It's not due till Monday though.
you know what is also equally as frustrating when there's like an install or an update bar and it goes across and fills up and a new one starts.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel the same way about that as the fake deadline.
Just make one bar.
That's the whole idea, right? So then when it's finished, I know we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I don't even know how many fucking bars there are.
Yeah.
Could be 100. Could be 1,000. Do we have a question?
We don't. Not this
Did
week.
we have Twitter interaction?
Man, that's a good question. I don't know.
Let's talk about if we had it while we all try to pull it up real quick.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
And be discreet.
You guys keep. There's no discreet over here. You're gonna hear it.
Yeah, you typing on those cherries?
Yeah.
Typing on those cherries?
So what happened this week, Matt? To keep you from doing your job correctly. I mean, sorry, I
nobody
should have
can
been
hear
more
you,
It
specific.
sounds like you're in Fresno.
I'm in Fresno?
Yeah.
Still?
Speaking of Fresno,
Speak into the microphone, Dan.
I'm speaking into the microphone. Look at me.
yeah, speaking of Fresno, our friend
Fresno.
Garrett
Isn't that
Wade,
where-
we talked about having listeners all
Yeah.
over the U.S. Our friend Garrett Wade is actually from Fresno. He's a truck driver, so just want to give a shout out to him.
Fresno. Isn't that where Daniel LaRusso moved to?
I don't know. It sounds
No, I
like
don't
where
know
you
the
moved
answer
to
to
do
that.
this show.
Well, I don't know what's going on with it.
That's getting better
Yeah.
now. Get closer
Now
to
you
the
sound
All right.
good. Yeah,
I
get
can't
off
get
on
any
that mic.
closer. without sticking the whole thing in my mouth, and I can't do that because that's not my style.
Dan, I want to tell you something. When you face the PC, I can hear you better, and that makes me think that your microphone is actually the PC microphone.
Right here, microphone, snowball.
Yeah, tap the microphone on your laptop.
Don't touch anything. You sound
real good.
We're gonna fuck it up. Here's what's happening.
I'm not doing anything. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure your program that we use to record is using the snowball. Your Skype is using the laptop.
Yes. Yeah.
So talking to the one that actually matters.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm trying to stay close to this one.
Put them next to each other so everybody can hear you.
I can't. I don't have that kind of room, dipshit. I have this makeshift office as it is. My desk is a stack of boxes.
You're projecting right now.
Yeah,
I am projecting. You're right. Yeah. Fuck you, assholes.
Yeah, the only thing on Twitter this week was Garrett chimed in with some Gone But Not Forgotten.
All right, we're gonna get to those.
He also hit us with a hashtag for last week's episode. Hashtag Drildo.
Oh, that's really good.
For the crazy
I like
jackhammer
that.
That's really good.
I like that.
Man, I should have called the episode that.
The Drildo
would have been good.
And then we could add like Drildo's Revengeance later on.
Right.
We brought it back up like 6 episodes from now. We brought it back up.
Yeah.
Is there a better market for the Drildo than this podcast?
No, because we also got a tweet from Jenkins Jane that says, "I miss your dick."
Okay, all right.
Look here for more.
Okay,
and then there's a link.
All right, so
I mean, clearly we're on the right path.
Seems legit.
We're attracting the sex bots now.
Seems legit. I like the sex bots. A lot of people don't like to. They like to delete them. I like to keep them on here.
No, I'd like to pin the sex bot tweets to the top of our page.
It says, "I like your dick."
It says, "I miss your dick."
I miss your dick.
Yeah,
so,
and then it's just got
which is odd,
but like
which means she's had it before, and I don't remember that.
Right, I don't know.
She's not talking to you if you don't know what she's talking about.
I don't know.
All right. Also,
I'm wondering which one you got to nail, Jenkins Jane.
We got another one. We got another sex bot, Kinsley Parker. Man, we got just all kinds of
That's a good name.
At JJJ HGF.
Sounds right, yeah.
It's legit, dude.
Yep.
So everybody tweet at JJJ HGF. Let her know Gamestitch is super cool. Let that bot know about us.
And that we also miss the dick.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is I think I'll make a tweet that's just all of our sex bots, and we can just all tweet them and see if we get some likes and retweets that way.
What if we say, "Hey, sex bot, listen to the official Gamestitch podcast"?
That can't be a terrible way to get around. We got Harper White showing some boobs on Twitter over here. Also, a snapped leg from a baseball game. This might be a real thing.
Sounds gross.
Yeah.
This might be an actual Twitter account.
Make sure.
A sex bot. You guys ever see that movie Cherry 3000?
No.
Oh, it's pretty old school. Melanie Griffith's in it. Takes place in the future where like people have sex bots.
Like Milk Money.
And she's like,
God, Milk Money's so good.
Milk Money. That's on Netflix.
He beat you when he talked about a better movie. Milk Money's a better movie.
You wouldn't know. You've never seen it.
I don't have to. I've seen Milk Money, and it's so good. That won an Academy Award.
It did not win an Academy Award.
I think it did.
It did.
For best movie ever.
Yeah, for best movie ever. Exactly. Matt was there.
You guys are idiots.
Have you seen it?
Milk Money?
Milk Money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not acting like you've seen it.
Oh.
If you have questions, comments, or concerns for the show, make sure you hit us up on Twitter at @game_stitch or podcast@gamestitch.com if email is your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time for my favorite segment, the newest segment, Gone But Not Forgotten. We reach back our gaming past. We regurgitate an old classic right in your face. This week it's Dan's turn. So you're either going to get a real gem or something we've never heard of.
This week it's a real gem.
Okay.
I do believe.
I'll be the judge of that.
Okay. It's a relatively newer game. Came out at the height of the horror survival horror craze. Tried to change things up a little bit, and oddly, the fact that it kind of started the action horror trend is kind of what most people consider to be its flaw for whatever reason. The game I'm talking about is from 2004. It is The Suffering.
That's okay. I'll allow that.
Developed by Surreal Software, published by Midway Games.
I'd also like to compliment your build up right there.
Yes.
Right.
Are you being sarcastic?
No,
or?
like I already knew what it was, but I wanted to know what it was.
Yeah. I actually knew what it was and then started thinking about other games it could be.
I did that too.
Yeah.
What did you think about, Matt?
I thought about Nightmare Creatures.
Okay.
I thought about Parasite Eve, in particular Parasite Eve 2. I thought about Resident Evil 3. Now, these are all before 2004, but these are games that survival horror started becoming something else. I thought about Clock Tower 3. I thought about a lot of...
Clock Tower is what I thought about.
Yeah, but not Clock Tower 1. Clock Tower 3 in particular, because that one got a lot more action-y. It was a lot less about hiding and running around and a lot more about grab a weapon and do something.
And that's very much how the Suffering is. It takes place in a prison. As the character, I can't remember the character's name now for whatever reason. I just had it in my head.
In an orange jumpsuit.
Can I also say that I thought about Haunting Ground before you move on?
Sure.
Okay, now move on.
And your name is Torque, which explains why I couldn't remember it, because that name's not super cool.
Like the wrench?
Like the movie, yes.
Or the wrench?
Or the wrench.
Because that movie sucked too.
That movie did suck. It's a horrible movie.
Yeah.
And yet I've watched it all the way through.
Of course, you love horrible movies. I told you that last night. Dad's like, why do you assume I watch it? I'm like, because it's not good. It's weird.
Torque is in prison because he killed his wife and kids. However, he doesn't remember this.
I think you also left out the word allegedly.
All right.
No, that's why he's in prison.
Allegedly.
That doesn't mean he wasn't wrongly convicted.
No, once you're convicted, it's not alleged anymore.
You sound like a guy that's never killed anybody.
I think you know me better than that.
Wow. Now we all have to go to prison. I think what you meant to say is you think Matt knows you better than that. I don't know anything about any crimes.
And it turns out that this place is haunted. There's a riot. All the different ghosts are different representations of ways that you can be executed legally. So he's the big twist here is that
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert from 2004, 12 years ago. The big twist here is that you can turn into once your rage meter fills up, I guess you would call it, you can turn into a demon, and basically go on the rampage. What's interesting about this game also is, again, you guys know how I like choices and how they can change the fate of the game. Well, this game also gives you choices. Most of them are either good, neutral, or bad. Some of them are just good, bad. There is no neutral. Some are just neutral, good. Some are just neutral, bad. But depending on your choices, you can change how the game ends. The way the game ends is what happens on the island and you remembering what happened to your family. I won't go through the intricacies of it, but basically it turns out either you killed your family or you didn't, obviously. But there's some different twists on that, depending on how it happens, on the choices you make. So it's a game actually reviewed very well, but it was kind of lost to a lot of the masses because it wasn't the survival horror that they had expected. It was much more psychological. It dealt much more with the intricacies of someone's mind and the demons of the mind rather than the actual manifestations of demons. So if you get a chance, you should check it out. Matt, what are you doing?
He's choking himself out so he doesn't have to hear about this game anymore.
Just rest in my hand, man.
This game actually surprisingly does hold up a little bit over time. It's still an interesting game to go back and play. If you're not interested in that, don't have an Xbox, go ahead and YouTube it a little bit. That's The Suffering by Midway.
All right, that's your Gone But Not Forgotten. If you have one for us, make sure you hit up us on Twitter or in the email, use the hashtag GBNF somewhere, just like our friend at Enjoy My Teabag.
I don't want to do any more GBNFs.
Why?
Because Matt's trying to kill himself over there over my GBNFs for whatever reason.
I liked that game. I don't know what you're talking about.
And
I
you're
played
laughing.
that game all the
I
way
thought
to
that
the
was a
end.
good choice too. All
And
right,
you're
so
laughing.
I was initially laughing for a different reason. For those that can't see, I have a cup and a straw in front of my face. I was trying to look like I was drinking without drinking, and I thought I did a pretty good job, and it made me laugh.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Sorry. All I saw was you losing it.
I did this. But I'm not actually drinking right there.
So stupid.
Right. So I tickled myself. And then when I looked up, Matt was choking himself
Then
out.
I looked up and Matt's
Right.
going like this.
Right. So
Yeah, I was just like this, like anybody. I just rested my hands on my.
nobody rests
like,
their hands like this.
On your
Awesome.
throat.
Right.
I've got my elbows down on the desk, and I just rest my
Who
weight
does
of
that?
my
So
chest into my
comfortable right
hand.
now.
like
So
like holding myself.
So
up.
it was that's what happens when you talk for a while. It was organic. I don't think anyone didn't like your pick. But our friend Garrett Wade submitted 2 answers for GBNF this week, and I think they're both good choices. My GBNF is Earthworm Jim on the SNES.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
old SNES.
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let me find the other one here. How could I have forgotten the world's best farting / burping game, Oddworld 1, PS1. My sister and I love that one. Also a good choice.
All the Oddworld games are pretty fun and
They're
interesting.
very unique. They're entertaining. They're fun. Those are both good choices. If you have, like I said, if you have any suggestions for us or you want to let us know what we should check out, use the hashtag GBNF or put it in the subject line if you want to email and be old school.
Yeah.
Either one's fine. We don't care.
Old school.
Okay. Make sure you follow us on the social medias. I am at Podcast Ryan. Matt is at Goddammit Matt. And Dan is at Shirtless Dan. However, he's got a hoodie on this week.
Yes, but I still don't have a shirt on.
But just for full disclosure, he has a shirt on.
I don't have a shirt on. I have a hoodie on.
I feel like when Dan gets off the podcast, he
But no
stands in
shirt.
front of a mirror and smears lipstick on and goes, "Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me hard."
I don't do that.
I feel like he doesn't even use the mirror.
I might
Tucks
lower
it.
I might lower the bucket and tell him to put the lotion in the basket, but that's about
Right.
it.
Tucks the old dick.
Actually, I feel like I would make a pretty good Russian gangster.
Oh my gosh.
Listens to Goodbye Horses.
The amount of time you've spent in the last month talking about your body.
Right. It's obnoxious.
Totally unnecessary.
Russian gangsters are not cool. I just made fun of myself, guys.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did.
I should be cast in a movie is what you just said.
Yeah. You're a regular Viggo Morgenstein over there.
Vigo?
That's okay. You said none of that right to start with.
A Viggo
There's a-
Mortensen.
But no, I wasn't. I was
there's-
thinking more. I wasn't thinking. I can't remember what is that name of the movie that he's in, where he's a Russian gangster. Something.
Are you thinking one of the 600 people that John Wick killed?
No, I'm thinking more.
You want to be one of those
Punch
GTA
him
guys?
in the
4.
face with a pistol.
Yeah, you want to be one of those guys that gets fucking pistol whipped in the nose?
I'm thinking more GTA 4.
Nico.
I know the movie
Tell
that
it.
you're talking about. I just thought you might keep going till you got it.
No, I can't remember. I can't remember.
Now I can't remember.
Isn't Amy Adams in it?
Yeah, he's all tattooed up. He's really an undercover cop. He's just deep undercover.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Time I want to have this conversation.
That's it. Ryan got it.
Nailed
I know who can help us out with this.
I know you're on IMDb. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't really have a final thought this week either.
I haven't asked you for it yet, so hold that thought.
There we go.
Hold
now
that
we know what it's
final
going to be,
thought,
right?
That's called foreshadowing.
That is a literary term.
Can you hurry up, Matt, so I can end this?
Because we're all
Oh
about.
my god, can you calm down? Just let me get there, man. I gotta hit up this.
Well, let me have a real moment with the listeners.
I think it's Eastern Promises.
That's not it.
Yeah, I think that's
Let
it.
me have a real moment.
That is
That's it.
the name of it. Yeah.
We really
Go ahead.
appreciate you guys listening each week. We need some favors. We need some things from you. A little housekeeping here. We need you to rate us on iTunes. It's really important. Even if you don't listen on iTunes, we need ratings on there. the more ratings we get, the easier it is for other people to find us. And at the end of the day, that's just where the biggest part of the audience comes from. So we really need those ratings. So even if you don't listen there, just shoot over to iTunes and give us a quick rating. And we would love for you guys to say something, but you don't have to do that if you don't have time, but at least rate us. We are available everywhere. We have started making sure the show is going up timely on YouTube in case that's how you have to listen. But also subscribe on there would help us out a lot. Dan.
Yeah.
We end each and every week with a segment we like to call One Final Thing. Now, you could fuck up this entire podcast by not having one ready. But we know that's not the case.
I think we know I don't have one ready because I already stated that.
Give it to us now.
Okay, here's my final thought.
Go.
In all endeavors, in order to be successful, all right, preparation is key.
Okay.
That
it feels on the nose, yeah.
That's my advice to all you listeners today.
Right.
Preparation is key in all aspects of everything you do. That is how success is created.
4 years of doing this podcast, and Dan didn't realize he had to have something ready for Sunday.
I just have
4 years.
Yeah, no, you know what happened this week?
I don't know what happened.
I do, as I forgot to put them down on my little memo thing. All I have in there is passwords, and I can't give those out.
What if you just gave a password out?
Just
though?
say,
yeah, what if you
say
just
one
said
password.
one password?
Just don't. You don't have to say what it's to.
Yeah.
Just say the password. Don't say the username.
No.
Don't even say
Just
what
say
it's
the
for. It
password.
could be for anything.
Not
Say the
happening.
password. Say the password.
Are you going to say it?
No, I said
okay.
I wasn't. I'm not giving out
You
passwords.
looked like you might
Yeah, I
say
thought
it.
you were gonna
looked like
say
it
it,
might
yeah.
come out.
This has been episode 195 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place.
Good to
if
be
you
here.
listen on the same time and same place. Because that's up to you, really, not up to us.
iTunes.
We'll be in the same
Rate us.
places, but like you could listen
Yes.
to us anywhere.
More than likely.
Yeah.
And thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Good night.
Good night.
Go Giants.
Oh my God.
Shut the fuck up.
If I was still editing the podcast, that'd be gone. I'd replace it with you going, go, and then I would insert some really shitty team that sounded like you not saying it. It'd be like, yeah, you'd be like, go Bears. Like that.
you could really make it look stupid and throw a hockey team in there.
Right. I wouldn't do
Go
that.
Devils.
None of the listeners would know what I was talking about. All right. All right, good night.
Good night.